You ever have one of those Saturday mornings where you expect nothing but the soft whir of a sprinkler and maybe a bored dog barking in the distance, and instead you get the sound of a power drill on the side of your house? Yeah, that was me. I yanked open my blinds, squinting through the sunrise, and there she was, the HOA president herself, Karen in all her glory, crouched by my meter box like she was defusing a bomb. It took a second for my coffee-starved brain to catch up, but when I realized the gaping hole where my electric meter used to be, my stomach just dropped. She wasn't just trespassing. She was hauling the actual meter to her Lexus like it was her God-given right. I stormed outside barefoot, coffee sloshing all over my hand. "Karen," I shouted. She jumped about a foot, slammed her trunk shut, and spun around with this look, half guilty teenager, half mob boss. "HOA business," she snapped, brushing invisible dirt off her khakis like she could dust off the crime. I mean, who does that? Who wakes up, thinks, you know what, I'm going to steal my neighbor's electric meter today? But that's the level we were dealing with. Months of drama over porch lights, garden gnomes, even my pickup truck. Honestly, I should have seen it coming. "Karen, that's theft. That's literally utility property." I'm standing there pointing at her trunk like a fool. She folds her arms, lifts her chin. "Not theft. Enforcement. You use way more power than the average household." The board agrees, probably running something illegal. Honest to God, the most illicit thing in my house is the Xbox. I forget to turn off at night. But Karen, she was on her own planet. You can contest it at the meeting. Until then, power's off. She hopped in her Lexus and peeled out meter clunking in the back. By noon, my house was a tomb. No AC, no fridge, no Wi-Fi. Just me sweating it out on the driveway, sipping lukewarm ice water and contemplating whether I'd hallucinated the whole thing. Called the power company. They didn't believe me at first. She did what... The guy on the phone sounded like I'd just told him Bigfoot stole my oven. But when I explained it again, slower, he got real quiet and promised to send someone out immediately. Later that day, a white utility truck pulls up two techs with tool bags and clipboards and looks that said, "What fresh nonsense is this?" One whistles. "In 15 years, never seen anyone steal a meter." Turns out it's not just theft, it's a public safety hazard, a regulatory offense, and a fat fine waiting to happen. When I told them Karen did it, yeah, they'd seen her type before. All smug and bulletproof right up until paperwork and city codes knock on the door. The best part, their manager calls me directly, tells me to file a formal complaint, says it'll speed up enforcement. I could barely keep the satisfaction off my face. This wasn't just another neighborly spat, it was city jurisdiction now. Karen had finally crossed a line her little HOA badge couldn't protect her from. By evening, my new meter was installed, the evidence was logged, and the techs assured me Karen was in for a surprise. I slept like a baby that night, even in the muggy heat, because I knew the wheel of karma was starting to turn. The next morning, the neighborhood was buzzing. Apparently, the utility company had showed up at Karen's house at dawn, found my meter stuffed behind her paint cans, and hauled it away as evidence. Somebody swore they saw her in the driveway arguing with the crew hands, flapping, face red as a tomato. By noon, an official-looking envelope was taped to her door. Word spread fast. She'd been slapped with a $25,000 fine for theft and tampering. That's not a slap on the wrist, that's a financial branding iron. Watching her storm onto her porch, waving that fine around, shrieking about unfair treatment was... Well, let's just say my coffee tasted extra sweet. The system she loved to weaponize had turned on her, but I knew Karen. She wasn't about to back down. Next, HOA newsletter, front page, there's Karen spinning her own PR, painting herself the hero and muttering about protecting property values. She even hinted the fine was a clerical error. I nearly spit coffee all over my kitchen. The cracks were starting to show, though. Next HOA meeting, I made sure to sit right up front. The usual crowd people who always nodded along were side-eyeing her, whispering. Halfway through, Mr. Davis, who never raises his voice, stands up and just asks, "Karen, did you or did you not take the electric meter?" Room goes dead silent. She squirms, tries to change the subject. Nobody's buying it. Brenda, one of the board members, finally admits, "None of us approved that. Karen did it on her own." The room erupts. Gavel pounding Karen, shouting for order, but the tide's turning. Afterwards, Karen corners me in the parking lot. Her smile's all teeth. "You're enjoying this, aren't you?" I just shrugged. "Yeah, kinda." She gets real close, says, "You think this is over?" "I built this neighborhood." But all I saw was panic under her bluster. 2 days later, I get home to find a bright orange HOA violation taped to my door. Apparently, my city-issued meter doesn't conform to neighborhood standards. It was so transparent, I actually laughed out loud. Snapped a picture, sent it to the utility company. Next day, 2 city inspectors show up, look at the notice, shake their heads, and assure me they'll add it to Karen's growing case file. But she wasn't done. Next thing I hear, she's going door to door asking people to sign a petition to get me booted from the HOA for causing division. Mrs. Patel across the street tells her to buzz off. People are tired of her. Mrs. Patel whispers to me, "Now we see she's not invincible." That's when Karen tries the old switcheroo, calls the city herself, claims I'm doing illegal electrical modifications. Code inspector comes out, apologizes for wasting my time, says she's just making it worse for herself. Karen's desperation made her reckless. Her little empire was slipping. The final straw came at an emergency board meeting where Karen announced she'd be raising HOA dues by $200 for a legal defense fund. Brenda stood up and shot her down flat. That was it. The room turned on Karen. Recall flyers went up overnight. People who'd never voted in their lives came out for the meeting. And when the dust settled, Karen was recalled in a landslide. The morning after, the neighborhood felt lighter. Kids played in driveways, folks smiled again. Karen, she started spiraling, homemade sign in her yard, unfairly removed neighborhood at risk. She paced like a general who lost the war. Then one humid night, my power flickered. Checked the breaker, Karen had tampered with it. This time the cops and utility guys showed up together. Karen screamed about conspiracies, got a formal warning, and the city scheduled a full inspection of her property. Turns out she'd been running extension cords under the fence, leeching power from neighbors for her Christmas lights year-round. I couldn't make this up if I tried. It all came to a head when I caught her at 2 a.m. wrench in hand, messing with my water main. This time, cops handcuffed her right on my lawn. The whole neighborhood watched. I figured that was it, but no couple days later, I get sued for emotional distress and defamation. My lawyer nearly laughed out of his chair. He countersued for harassment, trespassing, tampering the works. In court, Karen put on the show of her life, dabbing her eyes, painting herself a victim. But when my lawyer rolled out the mountain of evidence, photos, emails, witness statements, the judge didn't buy a word. Karen's lawsuit tossed out, our countersuit moving forward. Neighborhood cheered. Brenda even baked me cookies, said I'd done what everyone else was too scared to try. But Karen went nuclear. Flyers accusing me of conspiracy emails at 3 a.m., megaphone rants on her front lawn. The day of the countersuit hearing, Mrs. Patel, Mr. Davis, even the utility inspector all testified. Judge ordered Karen to pay damages to me and the city totaling almost 6 figures. You'd think that'd be the end, but humiliation made Karen dangerous. Suddenly, packages vanished. Garbage cans overturned, even Brenda's car got keyed. Then one night I come home and Karen's Lexus is blocking my driveway. She rolls down the window, eyes wild. "You think you've won without me, this place will collapse." I told her, "Karen, the only thing collapsing is you." She peeled out tires, screaming. After that, the weirdness ramped up. Prank calls in the night. Mr. Davis's lawn TP'd. Mrs. Patel's planter smashed. Then one Saturday, code enforcement shows up. Karen's accused me of running an illegal business. Officers roll their eyes, apologize, say they're required to check. I let them in, show them the world's most boring house. They leave shaking their heads, and I add the bogus report to my ever-growing file. But Karen wanted a spectacle. One morning, the clubhouse is vandalized, spray paint everywhere, my name included. pool filled with trash bags, tennis fence / power cut. Everyone knows who did it. Karen comes out acting outraged. Brenda just says, "You're the only one who benefits, Karen." The cops investigate, promise to check footage. Before they can finish, Karen makes her boldest move yet. She steals my meter. Again, in broad daylight, and holds it like a trophy while the neighbors film. Cops haul her away in cuffs this time. The videos go viral. News trucks show up, and suddenly our infamous HOA president is the face of suburban madness. She's charged with theft, harassment, vandalism, even attempted arson after a trash can fire in my yard nearly spread to my house. Karen's finally remanded until trial. In court, she's found guilty on all counts, 18 months in jail, fines, counseling. The neighborhood blooms. Block parties, gardens, murals, kids draw little electric meters with padlocks on the clubhouse wall. Adults laugh and nod. Brenda becomes HOA president, and for the first time in years, life is peaceful. Sometimes sitting on my porch, I think about Karen pacing in her cell, still convinced she was the victim. I almost feel sorry for her, almost. But then I remember every fear she planted, every sleepless night, and I let that sympathy fade. Funny thing, when people visit now, they always notice the mural of the locked electric meter. It's a warning, a joke, and a promise. We got our neighborhood back. And no matter who moves in, we'll never let another Karen take power. So what do you think? Was justice served, or did the system go too easy on her? Drop your thoughts below, and if you've got your own HOA war story shared, I know I'm not alone in this.